Greetings to you, wonderful people. It's great to have you back on my YouTube channel. Today, we are going to be talking about a wonderful topic which we tagged the peer pressure. I repeat, the peer pressure. What's actually do we mean by peer pressure? Before we continue, can you remember to hit the subscribe button? Let's keep the followers going. Yes, back to our discussion. Peer pressure, according to different school of thoughts, we can say it is that feeling that one must do so that other people of one's age or social status can accept him or her into their settings. We can use it like that. As also we can say it is a situation in which a group of individuals have an influence over the decision or behavioral pattern of another person in as much they want to be accepted into that circle. We can use that as definition of peer pressure. What are the disadvantages of peer pressure as to what it has, the effect it has on individuals and youths? It might be adolescents, it might be even an adult or children that are still growing up. So the power that a peer pressure has on them is very enormous, and if it is not properly taken care of, has a very bad effect on them. Let's look at some situations, then we'll talk about it. Let's look at in a school where we have a sect of rich people, rich kids. At their disposal, they have new gadgets like phones, they have cars, they have amazing things as far as technology is concerned. They have money, cash at their disposal. They travel for holidays, maybe to UK or to America and the rest of them. To people that are not of the status caliber as they are, if they are not properly groomed from their respective houses, they might feel a pressure to be accepted into the circle of these rich kids. So for the people trying to come into the circle, they might give them some certain things. They might ask them to do some certain things. They might ask them to possess some traits which they might not have. And if they are not okay by themselves, they might succumb to this pressure. They might be smoking, they might be drinking, they might be asking them to pay a lot of amount of money to get into some parties. They want to hang out with girls, or for girls they want to hang out with boys. In different ramifications, these factors are enormous that we're going to talk about. But what are the things that we need to know to make us able to handle and tackle peer pressure very well? First thing is something we call the contentment factor. The contentment factor comes in such a way that whatever that is you have, if you come into any circle or status that you are being pressured to bring more than what you have, you'll be able to tell them you are contented with what you have. If your father brings you to school in a public transport, or you come to school with a bus or the private bus of the school, you don't feel ashamed because your friend comes to school with a jeep or the latest cars by their parents. You are contented with what you have. You go to the cafeteria of your school and you see your rich friends eating fat, and your own budget for a day is, let's say, $5. I'm just saying, and they are eating a bill of, let's say, $100 at a sitting. You don't need to feel sad. Just be contented with what you have. That is where the contentment factor comes in. Another factor we're going to look at is to cancel out greed, the greed factor. When you are greedy, that you want to have what everybody has, then it becomes a side effect factor for you to be able to get into peer pressure, and it can happen to you. In as much as for example, your father gives you $100 to execute a project, look in the confines of your $100, build your business plan. Maybe it is a book you want to buy, or you want to buy clothes, or you want to buy a phone. Look into the category of your $100 then work with what you have. If you want to start looking at, my friend has $1,000, my friend has $20,000, and me I have $100, then at some point it becomes greed, and it can get you to do things that you don't want to do. Another factor we're going to talk of is jealousy. Jealousy, like I already said, is close to greed. When you see your friend coming to school in the latest Jeep or the latest car, BMW new version, or Prado, or let's say, just name the kind of cars that you want to name. They come into school in those, and you don't have it. You don't even come to school in a bicycle. Maybe you trek to school, or you come to school in the school public bus. Then you might feel jealous. Then to easily get you in the circle of peer pressure, it will work on you easily. So there are many factors which we are unable to cover in this post, but we will just urge you to just make sure you know there are so many factors. Also, we can talk about self-esteem. When you know your self-worth, nobody can talk you down and can make you feel like you are nobody. If you know what is right to do, for trying to do what is right, people will attack you. When you speak the truth always, you must have enemies. It is a fact, it is a known fact. For you to be a truthful person, people will hate you for being truthful. Stand on what is right, that is your self-esteem. Hold on to it. Whatever they say, you don't have to go back on it. Another factor is you knowing your limit, knowing your gauge. If you fall into any circle or any circumstance and they're asking you to buy more than what you can buy, you know your limit. This is what I have, this is what I'm budgeted for this time, and this is what I'm going to use for this time. It means you know your limit. So it will be very difficult for them or people to be able to push you around. It is great to have friends. Look for circle, look for the category, look for the circles, look for the people that appreciate you for being with them, not people that tolerate you to be with them. If you go to people on places that you are being tolerated to be in their circle, they do things to you and you keep tolerating it, you might not be able to express yourself fully in such circles. Go to places where you are appreciated. If you see people trying to tell you or to make you look down on yourself because you want to get into the circle, stand firm. You don't have to force yourself into the circle. Sometimes you need to stand out to fit in into any circle. So it is good to make friends, it is good to socialize, but any circle that will make you do things to make low of you, to make you go extra miles to do bad things, then such circles are not worthy of you. Yeah, thank you very much. I'll look up for another very exciting edition of our post. But before we go, don't forget, hit the subscribe button. Let's keep the followers going. I didn't want to make this again. I love you. Bye.